And action. And we're live. God, this feels like took us forever to get to here. Get to here.
Welcome back to All Strings Attached.
Oh, it looks so different, doesn't it?
You have to do the... Everyone's waiting for that.
Oh, the... All strings. Yeah, welcome back.
We couldn't start this new...
Okay, today.
Can you tell we're very...
Not only tired.
I'm already like blanking on words.
Not only tired, but...
Can you tell we're rusty?
Rusty as heck.
Yes.
And then you always do that little leg thing that makes me seem like you're nervous, but I know you're not.
I know. It's just like a habit at this point. Like I just do it all the time. Yeah.
You just shake that thing.
No.
You feel me?
But it was what I was gonna say was we couldn't do this new season, this new season,
New day.
without these new matching jumpsuits.
Every episode, we are going to have a different matching jump. Just kidding. That would be kind of funny, though.
I would be totally down.
You would be down.
To have a different color,
We'll think about it.
Yes.
Dang it.
That means like one new one every single time.
Tan, blue, green. Once you get all the colors, though, you're good.
They're from Old Navy, so they're probably pretty cheapish.
Old Navy. I feel like that's not that cheap.
They have sales sometimes.
New year.
New year, new me.
New me.
It's not really.
It's already February.
That's what I was going to say, too. So, I think I sent you that meme where it's like...
January was a trial.
We're getting into 2024. We're starting 2024, and it's like February.
Yeah.
And it's like, but January is like...
I think it was Amanda that shared it, or you showed it to me, something like that. Where it said January was like a trial run.
Yeah.
February, we're actually getting started. Here we go.
I mean, it technically is for us because with everything of the holidays and everything that's happening in November, December, all of that. And then January, it's literally all of our birthdays. So it's just like another...
January was loaded.
Yes.
Loaded with things.
Yes.
So much travel. There was literally a week where I drove 4.5, 5 hours south.
Yeah.
Literally the next morning, drove back, picked you up, drove 2 hours north. That day, drove 4 hours south.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the matter of like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just driving like a
everywhere.
truck driver. That's what it feels like. I didn't make any good money that they did the boat, but I didn't make the money that they do. But yeah, new year, new us, kinda. New set.
Yeah.
Right, new setup. I wanted to add some color, so I put the big baby in here. Add some color, just add some different looks to this thing, and
I like it. And I like this rather than it being angled and having to look at cameras and stuff.
yeah,
It just feels more personal.
that's what I wanted too. Even when I was creating this set, even when we had the studio with Nemo and Joey, like I wanted to create like a living room feel, just so it doesn't feel like it's facing like a camera or anything. It just feels like you're sitting in a room.
Yeah, you're just talking.
Chilling. Yeah. So
and this is the first time that they're seeing our new sign.
yeah, the beautiful thing that V surprised me with.
Yes.
I did one episode, got deathly sick. You'll see that episode next with a friend of mine that you're going to love. But did one episode and then literally didn't do anything for like 2 months.
Yeah.
But it really gave me a chance, and it jumps into the new way of doing the pod. It gave me a chance to really reflect on the episodes that I had done, the method that I was doing it. Not to say that those episodes were bad, but it made me like just want to change it up and have conversations with just people that I'm extremely comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like obviously me and you,
Yeah.
we can chat about anything, be fully just ourselves and not overthink it, like trying to guide to the next question or really host a show. It's just more of a journal for us, kind of breaking things down or maybe thoughts. And yes, we love Jesus. We struggle with that journey. At least I do, of doubt, questions, and so the identity of the show is semi going to stay the same. It's just I will not. be trying to find guests constantly.
Yeah.
I think podcasts kind of run out of steam. You start getting burned out when you've exhausted your contacts, you've exhausted your network, and now you're not even like, this is where I found myself with doing the pod, as I'm not even trying to build relationships with these people. Some I was, but it's like I just need to find another guest, another guest. Hey, do you want to come on the show? Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And I'm just done doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to have conversations, but I want to be able to have conversations freely with people I'm comfortable with you.
Yeah.
I really want to get my brother, people that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
That it's not work. It's just, we're just hanging out, chatting, you know.
Just talking.
And, yeah, so I'm motivated to do that. And I'm glad. I mean, our best episode is me and you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that success leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's an idea. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Where we've had the most success. So, yes, we're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to talk about how crazy life gets.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy, say my buddy like I'm talking to a random person. Matt asked me.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you still doing like a Christian podcast?" I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You said ass." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro," but I'm just like,
The Bible says it too.
The Bible does say it too, but not in that context. I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
And if that's too much for people, like, I'm just tired of the fakeness.
Yeah.
You know that we are not like that. We don't like to be that way.
Yeah.
Taking the mask off, sitting in it,
Yeah.
letting it stew.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
So does that mean that your mentality's kind of changed in that?
In what way?
And like you don't care what people
Loud
think.
car.
I know.
Very loud. I don't care what people think.
Yeah.
That's always been my biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Literally was prayed over, and what's the word when they're like trying to like tell your future almost?
Prophesying.
I was prophesized, whatever, however you say that.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest holdup will be my fear of judgment of people, like that idea.
Oh, they said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He said the biggest thing that's always going to hold you back from doing what you're called to do is your fear of what people think. I'm like, bro, why you gotta call me out like that, bro?
Interesting.
But it's fact, though.
I didn't know that.
We both know that, like, for
Yeah.
real. You've always known
I've
that.
known that. I didn't know that was prophesied over you, though.
Yeah, that hit me hard. That's when he called out. I mean, man, now if you think about what he said, it's like timelines.
Yeah.
We had a plan, you know.
Yeah.
And he prophesied about how that was not going to look like the way we thought it was. And now I'm like, hindsight, I'm like, yo, goodness gracious.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, what do you think about kind of the concept of, it's going to semi always be about Jesus just because that's who we are. That's our heartbeat. But it's not going to be like a Bible study. I'm going to bring in guests and we're just going to preach the whole freaking episode.
I mean, yeah. And like, I think about it too of like, just because obviously we have been traveling a lot lately, and I think about like just conversations we have in the car and stuff too, just like different perspectives that we see on certain things, or that I see like on TikTok, like this certain things happening in certain areas, or this is happening to this person, or this happened to that person, and blah blah blah. So then I see different things that people post, and then we just like, I want to get your perspective on it, or I think about like, hey babe, I saw this, what do you think about this, or whatever.
So now it's going to go on the pod.
I know.
Unless we talk about it on our drive, which is interesting.
I know. And then sometimes we need to like, we tell each
Save
other.
it for the
like,
save it for the save it for the show. Save it for the show.
But I think those are interesting too. And it's like, obviously, like you said, like some people are not going to like what we say, but that's just like our beliefs and our, what we think is, you know, not the way, but like just our perspective on things. And I don't think it's
just our foundational, it's what we believe. Yeah, it's our identity.
And it's not to say that we're right and people are wrong or anything. It's just
You're
like
wrong.
anyone.
We're right.
just like anyone's opinion. And we don't need to sit here and try to defend our opinion for anything either. So I like that. I don't know. I'm excited. Even like getting ready and stuff. I was like,
it's just, I know we've been wanting to do this, and like I had to drink an energy drink like later in the evening because my energy just tanks. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's my diet. It's all that, right? But
It's your healthy
we've
diet
been,
and your
but
water intake.
real
and
talk though. Yeah, that's a funny story. Real talk though. We've been wanting to do this episode. It's just,
it's been a
it
lot.
just got to become a part of what we
Yeah.
do in our routine because we do enjoy it. It's just the lead up process. And
Yeah.
then by the time we get there, the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
We're tired.
Because we always have to do this when the kids go to sleep. Because
Yeah.
like first thing in the morning, obviously we can't unless we got up like super early. And I'm not a morning person. Like
For those of you
whatsoever.
that don't know, if they're new people,
Yeah.
haven't been following us for a while, we have 2 children. We have a new 4-year-old, not a new 4-year-old. She just turned 4. Not like we just got her and she's 4. But she's, Malia's 4 for those of you guys
Yeah.
that know Malia. And then we have baby Kaya, our baby Kai, our
And
Kai
she just
Kai.
turned 6 months.
She's 6 months old. So yeah, life's a little bit different for us. We can't just set up cameras and press record like we used to. There's a process to it. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to make it a part of our rhythm and our routine because I know we like doing it.
Yeah.
Even if no one's watching it, we enjoy doing it. So
I like it. And I know like at least our core people like it.
yeah, I agree. Last year, 2023 creatively for me was interesting. Very chaotic, confusing, all over the place. Big journey that I'm sure we'll talk about here in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
When we're ready to do that. Even for my own personal content, I've got some ideas that I'm working on.
Well, that's why I was asking too, because you were saying like you don't really care so much anymore about like what people think or anything like that. Do you think that's changed with your age?
You say it so serious.
With your old age.
Yes, I am 30
You
years
are
old.
now 30, babe.
I'm 30 years old.
That's crazy to me.
I mean, to answer your question and sidestepping your joke of my age, to answer your question, I think I still do care what people think.
Well, you care to a certain extent.
And me and my guest in the next episode talk about that a little bit. I care, but I'm more self-aware of the way it makes me feel, I guess. So, I mean, I care. I want to say I don't care. I'm like trying to speak that into existence. Like,
Right.
I don't care what people think. I don't know. I just have a big heart. I love really hard.
Yeah.
And to an extent, I want to be validated by certain people.
That makes sense.
Um,
I think to a certain extent, everybody does.
So that's my biggest hang-ups. One of the things that I do that I feel like I've put a lot of my heart and blood into, to be validated by certain people in different circles randomly. Like if it's Camp World, I want it to be validated by certain people out there. If it's over here in the creative world, I want what I'm doing to be validated there. Like even in the house, like I need you to validate certain things.
Yeah.
And you know that. We've had that conversation. But I think turning 30 or just getting older has just made me a little bit more self-aware, the way that I think about certain things. So I want to say I don't care, but I do.
Yeah.
It's going to be my biggest hang-up and biggest struggle for the rest of my life.
Well, the reason I asked too is because like...
Because you want to make fun of me that I'm old. Yes, I
that
get
you're
it.
old. No, I'm just kidding. No, because I've always heard that like as soon as you turn 30, it's like for some reason something like shifts in your mind and stuff of like you don't really care so much about what people think. Like it's just like kind of like whatever. And I feel like for me, like I've always not really cared what people thought, but I think it's elevated a little bit more for me in the sense of like I've been able to have more conversations with people now instead of being hurt by something and then just putting it off to the side or something like that. Because before it would be, I would just put everything to the side and just not talk about it or whatever. Or I'm more specifically saying towards like friends or family or anything like that, to not just say what was on my mind rather than just having a conversation. And that was even like in a workplace or anything like that. Like I just could never deal with confrontation. Like that was my biggest thing. And I feel like once I turned 30, it kind of like flipped. And I feel like it even changed for that I was just like, why not have these conversations? Why not have conversations with people that either say something about you or whatever? And that changed for me to just have a sit down, and it doesn't have to be this intense fight or, yelling or anything like that. But it was just like, why not have these conversations with people and just talk?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the older I've gotten, I've realized I don't want confrontation. I think everyone is scared to say they don't like confrontation or don't want it because it's like like it makes you weak for some reason. Everyone was, oh, I like confrontation. I'm like, bro, most of y'all don't. Like, stop.
But that's what I don't understand either. Why is confrontation looked at as a bad thing though too? Because
Yeah.
why is it that confrontation is I'm getting in your face and we're fighting?
I think that's what everyone relates confrontation to. Or just having really almost combative conversation. But we've talked about it. Even legit, me and Matt talked about confrontation doesn't have to be bad. Like, it's constructive. It's helpful. But I think it makes people very uncomfortable and on edge because confrontation, I feel like, puts people on the back foot, on the defensive, when you're calling out people's issues or things they suck at. Like, and maybe they're aware of that. They get real defensive. That's why, for me, that's how I am. I feel like if there's confrontation, I only like confrontation when I'm already there and I'm pissed and I want the smoke. Yeah. It's the only time I want confrontation. Yeah. Other than that, I'm going to say I really don't like it. Yeah. Confrontation comes with my job role because as a supervisor and a director of what I do, I have to have really uncomfortable conversations to help get people better. But I think the difference is, even when we're getting into any of those conversations, we're always leading with, these conversations, I'm not trying to get you. Right. I'm not coming for you. Literally, I preface this. And the only time I ever have these conversations with these people is if I have a relationship built with them. I think that's when people get uncomfortable. Because me and you have confrontation, or what's the word we've been saying?
Confrontation?
Confrontation? Yeah. Me and you have that. And it doesn't feel that way. Yeah. Because we're comfortable. Yeah. And because we have a relationship.
It's true.
So when we're talking to each other, we already know he's not trying to hurt me. I'm not trying to hurt you. And it's constructive conversation to where we actually think about, maybe I am kind of crappy at this. Or maybe I could have done that differently. Yeah. When it's done differently and you don't have a relationship built, it comes off of that negative confrontation, that negative feeling that people think about. And I think that's where the negative part comes from. Yeah. Right?
Because that's even happened with us too, because there's been times when I have said certain things to you and you've gotten defensive.
Naturally.
Because you're
calling out my shortcomings.
Yes.
You're calling out things I already know that I'm insecure about.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a big thing that I don't like. Yeah. And it's funny because the people I need to have confrontation with or conversations with are people I actually have relationship with. But it's just talking around issues that are extremely uncomfortable. Like for me, that make me feel vulnerable. Yeah. In certain areas that I don't want to feel vulnerable. Yeah. With friendships, and me and Nemo even used to talk about stuff like that. I am quick to put up walls because I don't want to have that confrontation. Yeah. I don't want to be that vulnerable. Right? And so that's, for me, that's been years of messing up friendships. Yeah. Messing up relationships. I could easily say and look back now that, like, yeah, I should have tried to have that conversation. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm still sitting in a lot of that is I really don't want to be in that uncomfortable, vulnerable place. And that's where my battle's at right now. And I'm sure other people are like that too, which is why the conversation probably came up, because that's a God thing and that's how it works. Yeah. But that's something that I'm currently walking through.
For sure.
Not really enjoying confrontation. Yeah. To an extent.
Or just being vulnerable in general.
Being vulnerable with, very vulnerable topics, emotions, issues. Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like turning 30 is I asked Raptor this actually because it was dealing with like my fear of what people think and all that kind of thing. He's like, once you get to a certain age, he's like, you just stop giving it an F. That's what he said, right? You stop that all. You don't care anymore. I feel like I'm getting there. I'm just very, very aware of how I feel about certain things. But turning 30 is fine if I felt in shape, which I do not, so.
Yeah.
Keep seeing old pictures of myself and all the ones you printed out for my birthday.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I did a whole collage for you and did it shaped it out as like a 3 and a 0 for you turning 30 from literally like newborn from your delivery date because you were in your swaddle and everything
swaddle.
to literally nowadays. To you being a dad and everything. And you're like, it's so weird looking at my old pictures thinking I look like this. And then I look at a picture right next to it.
It's
and
so
I
real,
actually
though.
Look like that.
Like in your mind, you think you look a certain way.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I still feel like I'm supposed to look the way I looked when I was 24.
Right.
Which I could easily. I put on a little holiday weight. Had 2 children. I'm not able to go to the gym or eat well because I'm so fast-paced life these days. But
I can see that because I was just you posted something on your story a couple of days ago about like everyone. It was a one of those like add your picture or whatever.
21.
Yeah, the 21 one when you're 21 when you were 21 or whatever. And I put mine and I'm like I feel I still look like that. But then I look at myself closely sometimes and I'm like,
how closely you're looking? How closely?
Very closely.
Like you just looking in the mirror?
Yes. I look at everything that I have, and skin tags and everything that are coming out now. And I'm like,
I'm going to lick one.
God. But mostly I see like the dark circles under my eyes and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. Like you could just see it. Like I feel like I see it more than when I was younger, obviously. But it's also because I get no sleep now with 2 kids.
You've had 2 children, and you're a full-time mama.
Correct.
But, you hooked it up for the birthday.
Yeah.
The whole party.
It was crazy.
Everything was it was probably top 5 nights of my life.
Top 5.
If not top 3, it was up there.
Wow.
It was probably one of the best nights of my life. Surrounded by amazing people.
So which one goes first, the party and then our wedding, or our wedding and then that? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both in there somewhere. Don't know where they're sorted. The top 5, you know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
No, it was a blast.
It was good. I liked it. It was fun, and it was with the people that we wanted close. And
I had my name up in lights,
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy.
That was funny.
Wild.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was great. And now we're looking ahead to this chapter of our 30s.
Yeah.
We spent our entire 20s together.
I know. That's even crazy, too, because I was seeing like all those pictures and stuff, too, of like you throughout the last couple years. And I'm like, I've literally basically seen you grow up. Or I basically molded you into an adult.
Wow. She's brought me to this point. Thank you so much for your grace, your mercy.
No,
Lord VNA.
Oh God,
Savior.
Stop.
And then after that, we took our baby girl, 4 years old, for her birthday. We took her to Disneyland for the first time.
And it was the first time that we've been back since like 2018.
2018. Oh my God. It's funny because I have this video. We always looked back when you were walking up to the castle for the first time, and then you made the comment of I was filming now you and Malia walking up to the castle. Yeah. That was crazy. Cute. I'm probably going to do a compare video at some point.
The only thing that sucked with that was the fact that obviously stuff kept breaking down. And this is a conversation that we had too, that when we were coming back, I was like, I obviously love Disneyland. Everything's great. And I'm like, but then I kind of like looked at it a lot closer. And I was like, we were in line and it was like trash everywhere. And there was 3 rides that we kept trying to get on. And every time we kept going we got to the front, it would shut down.
Yeah.
And it was broken and this and that. And literally everything that I see all the time on TikTok and like reviews and things like that, it's all that stuff that all the rides break down and it takes a long time. And I was stuck on It's a Small World for 2 hours and blah, blah, blah. And like all that. And which is fine, obviously, but at the same time,
It's not fine.
I mean, it's not.
Naked people running on It's a Small World.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that.
what is happening?
Yeah, but my thing too is that I just saw it a lot closer now, and I think it just made me kind of like, what's the word? Like disillusioned about the fact that it's Disneyland.
As an adult, the illusion's losing its...
Yeah, that it's just like, it's just another theme park. It's just another like Six Flags. It's just another whatever, like just another place. Because
I wonder how much more magical the Florida one feels.
I don't know.
Because Disneyland in LA is not magical.
Yeah.
Also, LA is disgusting.
But the other thing I was looking at too, which I also put on my review because I was very upset.
You reviewed it?
I did review it.
Is it like stars?
Was
out
it
of 10?
stars? I think it was like out of 5. Out of 5, how was the blah 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 or whatever. The other thing that I didn't really like was the customer service, because I've seen videos like on TikTok and everything where like customer service or the casts that are hired there, they're very nice and everything. Mm-hmm. And yet I feel like all the people that we ran into and stuff were very just like not welcoming, just not like overly like how I've usually seen, or even like the first time that we went. I feel like even the cast people that are there now has kind of like gone downhill even for that. One of them that I remember was the girl that did the makeup for Malia.
Oh yeah, she was trash.
She was just like standing there.
Malia's like trying to talk to her. And
yeah, she's like excited and everything, and she's not even like smiling at her, like nothing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And so it was just kind of like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be like...
That was annoying.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I feel like I'm saying like a lot right now.
Are you really thinking about it now?
I'm thinking about it right now.
See, that's one thing I am really trying. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm trying not to say that word.
I know.
Because I was listening to the next episode that comes out, and it pissed me off so much.
You kept saying it.
I almost said it right now.
I know.
How do I sound so stupid? It could be a drinking game.
I know, at this point.
Every time I say like, take a shot of something.
I know. I need to try to stop. But I can't. So.
Just not going to talk anymore.
I'm just not going to. No. So that's what I was just not liking for that was the cast, that some people weren't approachable. Yeah. I remember when we were in line for Donald and we were going to get the picture with him and Malia, we were in line. There was cast members on the side.
Oh, yes.
And
they were just kind of there.
They were just there. It was 2 guys. And they were having their own conversation about what they were going to do for the weekend and partying and all this stuff. And I'm like...
What?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah. I was like, what is happening?
I should have joined in conversations. Like, what
it was
what
just like,
what are we doing?
You know, we're in Toontown. So there's a bunch of toddlers, a bunch of families. And they're talking about...
I'm getting loaded, yo.
Yeah, like stuff that they're going to go drink and this and that.
What were they going to drink?
I don't even remember, to be honest, because I was like trying to make sure Malia was good. Because it was when we were on the seesaw thing.
I don't like Toontown. It's too much.
It was a lot.
I was so overstimulated.
It was very, very packed.
I had to get out of there.
But that was another thing that I didn't really like. I feel like
I'm trying to think.
All of that kind of went downhill too.
The ones that I liked were Moana.
Oh, God. Erin had
she was
a crush
good,
on her.
godly woman.
Godly?
Yes. She had the heart of the ocean. Or that's like Titanic.
What?
I don't know.
The Heart of Tafiti.
That one.
Yes.
She was a great cast.
Yes.
She was overstimulated as well. She was done.
Yes, she was done.
Yeah.
And Malia went straight for her necklace and tried to grab it.
Because it is
I was like, no.
I didn't realize how big of a part of the movie it was. It's like a big deal. Right?
What?
The heart thingy?
Well, yeah, that's where she keeps it.
And Malia ran towards us.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how do you have this?
Yeah. I'm like, now I have to get her one.
She would probably love it.
Yeah.
But we're getting back on track. The very next episode you're going to see is an episode I did about a month ago, maybe a little longer ago. A good friend of mine.
Don't notice in your hair.
Oh, my hair is much different. Yeah. Yes, much shorter. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will catch you guys in the next one. It's going to be good.
Bye.
Peace.